All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? 13-game massive slate here tonight in the NHL streets out there. Looking forward to breaking this one down. I know we got a live final qualifier out there, 341Q tonight there. Hoping I can ship that thing out there. Everybody out there, thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Let's jump in and throw it up on the screen here. 13 games to talk about. It's a big one here. Do my best to kind of talk through it. It's kind of a unique slate off the top here. Some teams as the top spots, in my opinion, are typically teams that aren't really the teams you expect, right? So should be an interesting slate. The Caps, for example, have a really good matchup at home against the Ducks. The Penguins, I haven't been on the Penguins much this season, but I really like their matchup at home that they have against the Kraken, traveling across the country there to play Pittsburgh there. Detroit at home against the Sharks, I think, is a really good spot. But we'll go ahead and we'll talk through it here. First game on the slate, Tampa and the Bruins here. 6 total in this one. Tampa slight favorites. From a DFS perspective, it's hard for me to play any of these Lightning at these price points. If I went to anyone, it'd be the second line with Cirelli, Brandon Hagel, and Nick Paul. Hagel has been playing good, but, man, he's even 7,300 now. It's just these Lightning are kind of priced out for me right now, especially against the Bruins on the road here. So I think Tampa's fine, but not a spot that I'm looking to go to. I will say Andrei Vasilevskiy here at 7,500. Probably one of my favorite goalie plays on the slate. I expect him to get a decent amount of ownership at that price point, 7,500. He is favored despite being on the road. Really good price for him. He's a really good goaltender. On the Bruins side, Pastrnak, I think, is a fair price at 8,400. You can pair him with Geeky and the young stud here with Mason Lohrei. Really good value on him at 2.7K. So probably be that 3-man stack for me, or go like a Zacha, Pasta, Geeky, and Lohrei. That's a really, really cheap power play stack there. Lightning are not the best on the penalty kill, 77%. So Bruins power play makes some sense for me, but overall not a game I'm running to slam into my builds personally. Next game on the slate here, is 5.5 total here. I think this is a decent spot for the Dallas Stars if you wanted to play the Stars. It'd be line 2 for me. Matt Duchene, Wyatt Johnston, Jamie Benn. That line's playing incredible right now, but still not a spot I really wanted to go to. 5.5 total, 13-game slate. Really don't have to go to that. Looking at the numbers, though, the Leafs are semi-leaky on the road. They allow a lot of shots on net. Their expected goals is right around 3. So Dallas line 2, I think makes some sense. But Joseph Woll has been a really, really good goalie. 7,800, he's fine. Jake Oettinger at 7.6K is also fine. Matthews, you can always play him. Marner, that. But not a spot where I'm looking to spend up personally for the Leafs. You can always play the Leafs here. I think this game plays more like a playoff-style hockey game here. Both these squads are very good, very equivalent here, especially in terms of records. They're pretty equal overall. So I think this is more defensive focused. It could shoot out, but I just don't see it personally. So another game that I'm kind of under on, if I pick this side, it would be Dallas, just because Toronto is leakier on home ice here, just from what the metrics and the numbers show. Expected goals are up there a little bit. Shots on net are up there a little bit. And Dallas line 2 is playing really good right now, so don't mind some of that. Next game on the slate here is the chalk of the slate. Detroit line 1 is going to be mega chalk here. As you can see, Larkin at 6,900. He's too cheap against the Sharks. I expect him to be pushing 50%. It's hard to see what I'm going to do with him yet. I'll probably take an underweight approach or go to like the Comfer line with JT Comfer, Tarasenko, and Berggren. probably can leave Berggren off if you want and just go Senko, Comfer, and then add in like a Marco Kasper or something to pair up. You just take the cheap Marco Kasper to get exposure to that Dylan Larkin line with Raymond there, and then you get Kasper correlated with Senko and Comfer on that second power play there. I don't hate that. Patty Kane has been playing incredible right now. He's my favorite Red Wing if I'm going to one of them, 5,100. A little bit cheaper and a little bit lower owned than that top line will be. So Patty Kane, I think, is good. I don't mind going like a Patty Kane, a Marco Kasper, and then like JT Compher and Senko, those four, because you get kind of two guys on that top power play, two guys or three guys on that second power play. You get the full line stat correlation as well. So don't hate that, but Red Wings, tough spot on the slate for sure at home against the Sharks here. Georgiev has been horrendous. Red Wings at home, tough matchup here for the Sharks. On the Sharks side, Celebrini, Toffoli, and Eklund. Don't sleep on that line here. Think they're a really solid line. Will Smith is still a solid value, top line, top power play at 2.7K. I still prefer line two with Celebrini, Tyler Toffoli, and William Eklund. William Eklund's really, really good value at 3,600. A little two-man correlation with him and Celebrini, I think, is very, very interesting there. I don't mind that at all. Toffoli at 4.4K is a little cheap too there. So I think the Sharks can definitely score here. I'm not paying up for Cam Talbot. Definitely not here tonight. So I don't hate some Sharks. Everybody wants to go to the Red Wing side. I sometimes like just jumping to the other side and playing some Sharks here. It'd be line two for me. I think they're a pretty good spot, and they're playing pretty good hockey right now as well. Next game on the slate here. This is probably my favorite spot at the ownership here. I really like the Pens top line with Rust, Raquel, and Sidney Crosby here. And then you got a cheap guy that you can throw in with Matt Grzelcyk. Tomasino is stone minimum on that top power play as well. You can throw him in there. Kraken on the road this season, just not the same. I mean, actual goals against is over 4 over the last 10 road games. Their expected goals is way up there. Their penalty kills, 78%. Pens have a really good power play at home, 30% power play cash in. So I like this spot quite a bit for the Pens here. I'm not seeing a lot of ownership go to them. It's kind of scary because I very rarely write up the Pens and very rarely play them, but I think this is a really good spot here to play them. Malkin is a game time decision here tonight. I probably expect him to sit again, but if he comes back, that makes this stack even better. But it's still the top dogs for me. Sid, Rust, Raquel, Grzelcyk are my 4 favorite guys. You can play Carlson, you can play Letang, you can play Tomasino, but not really a ton of interest myself personally in Kevin Hayes, Cody Glasses of the world, those guys. It's the top dogs for me, and ownership seems to be staying in check, and I like that quite a bit. Joey Decord has been really good in that. If you're not playing the Pens and you want to leverage, I don't mind a Joey Decord at 7,200 because he is cheap. Tristan Jarry's not been great, but if there's a spot to get right, it's probably this spot, 8,200. I don't mind him if spending up, but typically, I don't think there's a reason to spend up here on the slate when you got guys like Vasilevsky at 7,500, really good goalie. Decor's been really good. He's 7,200. You got guys as well that are cheaper. On the Kraken side, full fade for me, not getting to any Kraken. If I went to anyone, probably be like guys like Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz has been playing good right now, so I don't hate him. Capo Caco at 3.5K. He's got a good value play there. A good value price tag. Burakovsky at 3K. Just be some value guys for me. Just to attack how bad Jari's been, but I love the Pens in this spot. I think the Pens kind of roll this game personally. Next game on the slate here, this is probably my other top spot here. I think I put the Pens and the Caps both ahead of the Wings at ownership here. Personally, in tournaments, I like the Caps and the Penguins more than the Red Wings here. Ducks on the road just been horrendous. Continue to target these Ducks every single day, all day, always. The only hope they have is Lucas Dosto, but he's not at home. And I think that definitely increased my interest even more here in the Caps. Love Ovi here tonight. Love Ovi. Love Protas. Love Pierre-Luc Dubois. Love those guys. Tom Wilson, really good. Connor McMichael, really good. Jacob Chitrin, John Carlson, both great. I love the Caps here. Caps, amazing stack. I want to probably tack the top power play here in general. I really like Strome. The Caps did kind of shuffle their lines around a little bit here, so I'm going to have to kind of monitor what they're going to do in terms of line shuffles. I know they've been mixing stuff up. As it stands right now, it looks like the top line is going to be PLD, Protas, and Ovechkin. So Pierre-Luc Dubois, Ovechkin, and Protas. I like that line a lot. And then the second line with Dylan Strome, Tom Wilson, and McMichael. Don't sleep on that. Dylan Strome has been up with Ovi. I think that boosts Wilson and McMichael. McMichael's kind of slowed down a little bit. Tom Wilson has not. Tom Wilson's been on fire. So love the top 6 skaters personally for the Caps. And then you got 2 really good D-men in Carlson and Chychrun. You can add in to your stacks there. On the Ducks side, if I went to anyone, it'd probably be the McTavish line with Cutter Gauthier and Mason McTavish. Just that 2-man stack I think is interesting. Both of those guys are decent values, but I don't think there's a reason to play against the Caps. Caps are gritty. Caps are good at home, especially in terms of defense. So not a spot I'm looking to go to the Anaheim side here tonight. Logan Thompson, if you can get up to him, fine, but expect him to be pretty popular, and I don't really want to spend $1,000 more for a guy like Logan Thompson, who I just don't think is going to see the volume of some of these other goalies. If he lets 1 or 2 in, he's going to have a hard time being optimal personally. Next game on the slate here, this is an interesting one. I think both sides are interesting here. I don't think Merzlikins is going. I believe Daniil Tarasov is confirmed here for the Blue Jackets, which makes me increased interest in the Flyers. Flyers are on a back-to-back here, but it doesn't really matter. Noah Cates is playing great right now. He's a really good value, second line. You can play him with Forster and Bobby Brink. Don't hate that. Morgan Frost, Konechny, Tippett is where I'm going if I'm playing the Flyers. I love Frost. I love Konechny. I love Tippett. Konechny's been good, especially against the Blue Jackets. Same with Tippett. And Morgan Frost, really good as well. So I like those 3 a lot. Jamie Drysdale at 2.9K, still a really good value there. He's been playing better as of late. Broke the slate the other night, a couple nights ago. You can add him in. He correlates with that power play. So I like the Flyers. And then on the Jacket side, Fantilli, Marchenko, Vornikov, continue to play them every slate. They're going up against a goalie who's averaging 3.4 goals against on average here. So Columbus line 1, definitely firmly in play. Werensinski has the highest projection of anybody on this slate. He hit the crossbar twice last game. He's due for a multi-goal game, and if there's a spot, it's probably here. I don't love playing 9,300 for a D-man, but you could play him in the utility spot and then punt to your D-man spot. So you could go like a Marchenko, Vornikov, and Werensinski stack, even a Fantilli 4-man stack. You throw Werensinski in the util spot, and you can still do whatever you want there. So I like this game a lot. I think this game gets up and down the ice. I think there's a lot of goals in this one, and I like both sides here tonight. Next game on the slate here, Florida and the Devils. This one I don't have much interest in personally here. Looking at the numbers overall, I just think this is more defensive focused. Florida is the best team on the road this season in expected goals. They're very good defensively, very good on the penalty kill, very good on limited high danger chances. Same thing with the Devils at home. So I think this is a defensive hockey game here. I'm really not getting to anyone here. It'd be value plays. Nate Schmidt at stone minimum. He's a good option. Outside of that, I'm not getting to really anyone. Just be the value guys for me. Luke Hughes, Pesci, but Nate Schmidt probably highlights that game is my favorite play. Just a value guy for me. Next game on the slate here, I think the Islanders are pretty interesting here. Senators, not very good, especially on the road. Expected goals are up there. Penalty kills not very good. High danger chances, they allow a decent amount of them. And the Islanders are playing pretty good right now, and they're cheap. Brock Nelson, Barzal, Anders Lee. That line stack is way too cheap. 4,700, 5,200, 5,400. They're playing good. You can add in a guy like Noah Dobson as a spend-up D-man. He's probably my favorite spend-up D-man at the price at $6K. He's $3,300 cheaper than Werensinski. And Werensinski definitely has a higher ceiling, but it's not that much higher to warrant $3,000 at a onesie position like a defense. So like the top line a ton for the Islanders. The second line is going to be slightly lower owned, and I think they're just as good. Bo Horvat, really, really good play at 4,900. with Palmieri and Maxime. Don't sleep on Anthony Duclair, who's been back, 3,100, third line. You can get out really cheap with JPG and Duclair. Really like that two-man stack. If I'm going to the third line, I think they're interesting if you need value. I don't mind that Pajot and Duclair mini stack there. They correlate on the third line, correlate on that second power play, and they're playing the Senators here. On the Senator side, not really getting to anyone. Personally, think you could play Timmy Stu with Giroux. I don't mind that. Or you could play a bath bomb here with Brady. Don't hate that, and a Norris. So top line with Norris, Brady, and Batherson here. Don't hate that, but my interest is more on the Islanders side for sure. I think Sorokin's an interesting spend-up goalie as well on the slate, but again, probably a spot where I'm spending down here at goalie personally. Next game on the slate here, I think this is an interesting spot for the Blues. Blues just failed the other night as chalk, myself included. I would have probably shipped everything had I not been the donkey and played a 40% owned St. Louis won on a 12-game slate. It was on last time. I think it was Saturday, right? 13-game slate or 12-game slate on Saturday, and the Blues were 40%. We got a 13-game slate here tonight, and nobody's going to play the Blues after the flop, and they're playing the Flames here. I like the spot for the top line Blues. Robert Thomas. Actually, they did switch up the lines. It'd be the second line for me with Braden Shen, Jordan Kyrou, and Dylan Holloway. Going right back to the well on them, they were playing great. They were blowing they were blowing slates up left and right. And now nobody's going to play them. Kyrou, really good option. Dylan Holloway, really good option. That's a really, really good two-man stack there with Holloway and Kyrou. And then you can add in a Justin Falk or a Philip Broberg there as correlation there from the defensive standpoint. Robert Thomas, Busnevich, and Jake Neighbors is fine as well. Jake Neighbors, good price point at 3,400. Pretty good history against the Flames as well. Solid value. I have him in the slate plan over there. But yeah, I like the spot for the Blues to kind of bounce back after that criminal flop that they had on Saturday as chalk there. And I like it even more if Vladar is going to be a net here for the Flames instead of Dustin Wolf. On the Flames side, I think you could play them, just not a spot where I'm looking to play them. It'd be Coronado. Flames are on a back-to-back as well, I believe it. So I think Flames are going to be a pass for me. It's just the Blues. Binnington's actually been really good against Calgary in his career as well. I think he's probably my favorite spend-up goalie at 8K. But again, I like spending down. So Binnington, Blues for me in this game. Really like that St. Louis 2 line. Next game on the slate, Vegas and the Preds here. It's Tuesday, so won't be a Tuesday without mentioning Forsberg here, 7,200. You can always play him. I mean, his stats on Tuesdays are ridiculous. I don't know what it is, but they just are. Look up his stats out there on a Tuesday. I think he's got, it's some astronomical amount of goals come on Tuesdays for him. Not a game that I'm really interested in too much, to be honest here. Both these teams really good defensively. Preds have been really good defensively. They're second best team in expected goals at home over the last 10 home games. Actual goals are really good. Same thing on the Knights. This game is a pass for me. I think this game plays under. I like both goalies here, Aiden Hill and Saros. Both good options here. You can play some value plays if you want to. It'd be more like D-men for me, like a Brady Shea, Noah Hannafin, Brady McNabb, something like that, Nicholas Hague. It'd be those guys. Tanner Pearson has fallen off the cliff now. I don't like that. Barbashev being back at 4,100. He's still got a fair price point skating next to actually, he's not even skating. Yeah, Eichel's still out, I believe, here. So, yeah, full fade for me in this one. Roman Josi as a spend-up demon. You can play him any slate. 7,200. His price has been staying in check. He's been playing better as of late, but it's pretty much the defenses and goalies for me in that game. Next game on the slate here, Jets at home, -165 favorites against the Vancouver Canucks here. Demko's actually a pretty good goalie in general. Another spot where I'm just not enthused to play. I mean, Vancouver, it's a 5.5 total, number one. Vancouver on the road allows 2.7 actual goals against. Same thing with expected, 2.7. They allow the least shots on net. I mean, their opponents are averaging just 24 shots on net against Vancouver here. They got a really good penalty kill. So it's the best home power play in the league versus one of the best road penalty kills in the league. We'll see what wins out. But if this game goes off, I'm going to lose because I'm going to fade this game. I'm not playing it. You can't play everyone. And 5.5 total. Teams that limit shots on net, I just think the opportunities, they have to be very efficient there, and I'm just not going to pay to find out on a 13-game slate there. Next game on the slate, though, I do have interest in here. Colorado at home against the Rangers. Rangers been a mess. The only hope they have is Shesterkin standing on his head. If you want to gamble, Shesterkin, 7,100, I think it's fine. I think the Avs are going to be hungry here. They just got shut out. They just got shut out in Winnipeg. Now they return home to face the Rangers, who have been kind of scuffling. Give me the Avs here. Give me McKinnon. Give me Rantanen. Give me Jonathan Drouin, Arturi Lehtinen. Those four I love a lot. Kale McCarr, Devon Toews, both good options. Sam Malinsky at stone minimum. He's fine as well. But I like the spot for the Avs to kind of bounce back after getting shut out in Winnipeg. Now they return home. I think this is a good spot for the Avs to kind of beat up on the Rangers here. So I like the Avs quite a bit in this spot. They would be my favorite spend ups on the slate if spending up for sure. On the Rangers side, the only interest I have is Vincent Trocheck. I mean, this dude's walking flamethrower right now. I'm not sure what's going on out there. I'm surprised the ice isn't melting under his skates when he's out there skating, because the dude is on fire. He's fine if you land there. But, again, not a spot where I'm looking to play. My interest is definitely on the Avs side for sure. Last game on the slate here. I think this is a decent one. I think some late night Montreal can be interesting here. I think the ownership is going to be on the Utah side, as you can see here by projected ownership. Cooley's still cheap. Clayton Keller, screw him. That goal getting called back costed me 5 figures the other night, so that was very hurtful there. I know Shalhoub out there, if you're watching, I know that costed him a ship for $10K in the energy line contest. So F you, Clayton Keller, but Nick Schmaltz, Keller, and Cooley are still a fine stack. They're going to get some ownership. I think my interest, if I'm going to this game at late night hammer, would be on the Montreal side here with Suzuki, Caulfield, Patrick Laine, Slafkovsky. Those four guys are where I'm looking at. Lane Hudson at 4.2K as well. Veggie's been good, 8,100. Probably not going to spend up for him. Looking at the numbers, Arizona or Utah Hockey Club, as we call it now, expected goals north of 3, shots on net almost right around 30 on average. They got a 75% penalty kill at home, which isn't great, and they allow over 3 chances per game on average in terms of penalties drawn. So I think this is a decent spot for Montreal. Give me the top power play guys: Suzuki, Caulfield, Laine, Slafkovsky, and Lane Hudson. On the Utah side, it would just be the top line, but at this projected ownership, probably a pretty good spot to be under on personally. That's all 13 games. Pretty interesting slate. I think this one is kind of wide open here. I think I got good angles on where we're going to target here. And I like 2 of the spots for sure that are going to be contrarian. I like the Caps a lot. I like the Pens a lot. And I think they can outmatch the Detroit Chalk here tonight. But good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those SHIPIT logos at the top for myself, Nadesify. Let's ship it.